Hello everyone, welcome back to AutoTrend TV. I am your Viprajesh again from SRT Tata Coimbatore, and I am here today with the 2020 facelifted BS6 Tata Nexon Petrol XZ Plus variant. And as you can see in the first impression itself, the facelifted Nexon looks exactly like a miniature version of the Range Rover Evoque. And that is a good thing. It gets much more butch styling along with stronger, beefier, square-jawed elements which make this the compact SUV you will want. And yeah, talking about exterior features, apart from the clamshell bonnet, you get this grille sort of design which is actually an opaque plastic glossy black panel, which is kind of interesting, but you will get used to it. And of course you get the Land Rover-esque sleek headlamps with the LED DRLs, which have the trademark tri-arrow design element in them. And along with that you can also see that the fog lamp enclosures have been redesigned, while the lower grille, which has become sort of very much tougher and stronger to look at, it also gets a sort of skid plate in aluminium finish. So overall at the front, it looks seriously butch, stronger and so much more beefier than before. The bonnet height also has been increased, and it makes the Nexon much more beefier now. So coming on over to the sides, you can notice the redesigned 16-inch machine cut alloy wheels. Yes, these are still 16-inch and they really complement the butch profile and design of the facelifted Nexon now. Coming to the sides, you can see that the A, B and C pillars have now been blacked out using a matte finish, which looks kind of interesting because the Nexon wasn't designed for this. And you also get a glossy black finish on the ORVMs. Well, the ceramic white finish on the window line and the rear have been retained though, which is subjective in terms of look. And many people do not seem to like it very much. Well, looks are subjective. So in profile, the Nexon facelift looks really strong, and in this foliage green color, it especially looks very aggressive, butch and ready for everything. So yeah, talking about other things, you get these tough looking roof rails which are actually made of fiber. These are not metal, but still they look really good. And apart from that, you also get shark fin antenna, which is okay, and you get redesigned tail lamps. The overall shape of the tail lamps remain exactly the same. However, they are redesigned with new tri-arrow design elements, complementing the rear X shape of the white ceramic design element. Not much has been changed at the back except for this new Nexon badging right below the Tata badge and the reverse parking camera. The main difference is the rear bumper. Of course, you get reprofiled reflectors with sort of black cladding and tough looking SUV like skid plate, where this interesting sort of cutout for the rear fog lamp is present. I am not sure why Tata have given that cutout, because even on the top spec XZ Plus optional, Tata Motors does not provide rear fog lamp. So that is kind of interesting and unnecessary, I feel. So yeah, that was all about the exteriors. It's really butch, tough looking, and Tata Motors have given a thorough makeover in terms of exterior look of the facelifted Tata Nexon. Let's get inside now to see what's all there. Yes guys, I'm right now inside the facelifted 2020 Tata Nexon XZ Plus variant, and as you can see there have been a whole lot of changes on the interiors of the Tata Nexon. To begin with, the steering wheel, of course. This is the Impact Design 2.0 steering wheel which has been carried over from the Tata Altroz. And yeah, you may ask, where is the cruise control and where are the buttons on the right side? Those buttons are not available on this variant because only the XZ Plus optional variant gets cruise control, automatic headlamps, automatic wipers and other stuff. So this is one variant lower to the top spec model, and that is why this variant misses out on those features, which also include leather wrap steering wheel and a leather wrap gear knob. Yeah, talking about the gear knob, this is also an updated looking gear knob inspired by the Tata Harrier and the Altroz, because this gets the very familiar heartbeat design on the gear knob, and of course other things being the steering wheel and everything else. So coming to the dashboard itself, it is very similar to the previous pre-facelifted Tata Nexon. However, there have been subtle design and quality upgrades. As you can see, the tri-arrow design pattern has been carried on over to the dashboard as well. You can see this nice white glossy panel over here on the center of the dashboard, which includes the tri-arrow design pattern. So that is a really nice touch. Along with that, you can also see that the seats, the upholstery, the fabric upholstery of the seats get this tri-arrow design pattern as well, which look really nice and premium. It kind of reminds me of Lamborghini's Aventador, if you may, but it is kind of a really nice touch. The seats themselves are really comfortable. They have been always very comfortable on the Tata Nexon, and that is the same case over here. Talking about plastic quality, every plastic panel in this interior has been improved on quality, starting from the door pads and on the dashboard as well as lower down. Every panel, every quality material have been implemented here, so that's a really good plus. And yeah, talking about other features, the Tata Nexon now gets only a digital instrument cluster on every variant. You do not get analog meters at all. This is the very same instrument cluster you may have seen on the updated Tata Tiago and Tigor. So that is also carried over to the Tata Nexon. So yeah, coming to the center console, of course, you have got the very familiar 7-inch freestanding Harman touchscreen system, which has been really very updated. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. So before that, let me just cover other features. Of course, you get the controls just like before. For the audio system, for the infotainment system, below the AC vents, the center AC vents, you got the hazard switch over here, and you have got the very familiar air conditioning. Well, this here is the automatic climate control, which is available only on the XZ Plus and the XZ Plus optional variants. So this is very familiar. People who have used the Nexon, have been in the Nexon, will be very familiar with this, except for the fact that the automatic climate control on the Tata Nexon no longer gets an economy mode, probably because no one uses it. That's what I feel. And the heat in India has not been very friendly to people, so that they may switch the air conditioning to economy mode maybe. Okay, fine. And you have got the very familiar set of switches just below the climate control console, which includes the front fog lamp button, the central locking button, and the electric tailgate release. So this is the button which you will have to use when you want to open the boot, so that is okay. And coming lower down, you have got the very familiar place over here where this socket console over here, where actually the USB port along with the 12-volt charging socket are. They have not improved the design because it is still a bit low and it's kind of hard to reach. But once you plug in the socket, you just forget it and buy a separate USB cable for your home use. So that's what I would recommend. And yeah, I have already spoken about the gear lever. This here is the multi-drive mode knob, which is of course familiar. This is no different at all. This car provides you city, economy and sport modes on all variants of the Tata Nexon, so that's really very good. And this here is the grand center console, as Tata wants to call it. with the nice padded cloth fabric armrest and a tambour door mechanism. Underneath you can see a whole lot of storage. If you open the armrest as well, you can store a lot of things here, a lot of small things. Of course, this is actually a magnetic lid, so if you want to close it, it just stays there. So that's good. And even the armrests upholstery has been upgraded to match the overall interior's look, to match the seats, to be precise. So that's a really nice thing. And yeah, every material of course feels really upgraded, including this door pad. The fabric material on the door pad is sort of similar in design to the pre-facelifted Tata Nexon. Only difference is that the pre-facelifted model used to get grey fabrics or sort of blackish fabrics on the for the driver padding, for the driver armrest on the door. But this facelifted model gets a much more lighter material. It's not beige, it's almost close to white. I don't know how easy or how difficult would this be to maintain on a long usage, especially in Indian conditions, but it makes the interiors look much more airy and premium, so that is a sort of compliment. So let me just turn on the ignition. Of course, the push button start button is right over there, which has not been changed in position or anything. That has been always there. It's a really good thing. And I'm going to turn on the ignition right now. This here is the key of the Tata Nexon Facelift, which has been the same since when it was launched, so no difference in that. So let me just put the key over there, and yes, so that's how the instrument cluster along with the infotainment system on the Tata Nexon look like. Well, the facelifted Nexon looks like. So the system is very exactly the same as on the previous model. The updated display, of course, the user interface has been updated, but this is totally new for the Nexon, at least, because this unit was found on the Tata Tiago and Tigor. As you can see, this unit gets average efficiency for trip meter A, trip meter B, and of course odometer. This car is brand new, so that's why it has run 18 kilometers only, and you've got a distance to empty display as well. This car can run around 141 kilometers, which is really nice. The speedometer is the predominant importance here, so that's why it's given in such a large display font. And you've got the external temperature as well, so that's good. And you've got other say display and warnings and all. You may have noticed when the car was actually turned on at first, it does a full check on everything, including the tachometer and speedometer and everything, so that's nice. The tachometer is on to the left side, whereas the fuel gauge is on the right side on the lower area, and the engine temperature gauge is on the top. Coming to the infotainment system, this is the very familiar Harman Connect Next system, as Tata wants to call it. This system is available with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth connectivity, and even certain app connectivity features such as Smart Remote, Juke Car app, and yeah, of course, What 3 Words is also included in this. So this is brand new, guys. The Tata Nexon is now available with further advanced connectivity features such as What 3 Words and Tribes, and yeah, the IRA Connect, which Tata Motors introduced on the Tata Nexon only for the first time. So basically what this What 3 Words does is that it helps you navigate through all the places with an accuracy of 3 meters. Yeah, that's right, 3 meters. That is really very accurate. Even Google Maps, I think that even Google Maps does not have that type of precision and accuracy, but this app does that. This sort of application does that. It's really nice. You can even use voice.
Please connect your phone with infotainment system using Connect Next app and try again.
Yeah, so you basically have to connect your the smartphone with this system, and then only you can use this. Till then, let's go for the home screen again. Of course, everything remains exactly standard. You get the air conditioning display over here as well. You can use voice commands to change the air conditioning temperature, fan speed, and everything, which is really very good. And when you connect Android Auto, of course, those are Of course, Android Auto is totally a breeze to use. You can basically use voice commands to operate navigation as well. So that's that's totally a given. Yeah, enough about the infotainment system, and let's now get back to other things. Of course, this is the climate control. I have shown you that already. So that's all about the overall tech stuff and say the infotainment stuff on the Tata Nexon. Let's get into the back seat to check out what all changes have been done there. Before that, let me talk about practicality. Of course, I have shown you the storage space under the front armrest. So let me just pop open the glove box, which has always been massive, and yeah, that is the very similar case over here. You get a cooling function from the previous pre-facelifted model itself, and that also has been carried over here. The lower XE variant of the Nexon does not get this tray, I suppose, but this top spec model gets that, which is good. There are a whole lot of storage spaces even in the glove box, which include certain small tray holders, a pen holder over there, card holders and cup holders as well. So that's really thoughtful. And of course, the Tata Nexon was one among the first cars in the Indian market to provide a separate umbrella holder, so that also has been carried over here. Of course, you also get the very standard 1 liter bottle holder on every door on the Tata Nexon. So that's all about the front cabin of the Nexon. Yeah, I forgot about the driver door. Yeah, the driver controls are pretty standard from the previous generation, the pre-facelifted Nexon. As you can see, the buttons have not been changed in design or usage, utility or anything. Even the mirror controls are the very same. Of course, this gets auto folding mirrors, so that's really nice. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the back seat. So yes, finally I am in the back seat of the facelifted BS6 2020 Tata Nexon XZ Plus. So this here is a good look at the dashboard at the front cabin from the back seat of the Nexon, and it kind of looks different at first glance, because over there in that space you used to get a faux aluminum metal finish, and instead of that you now get a white finish, which kind of looks airy and fresh. Along with that, this steering wheel is a new welcome feature. So yeah, there have been a whole lot of differences, of course. New changes are of course welcome. So yeah, talking about the back seat, the back seat has always been very comfortable and very spacious, very accommodating in the Nexon, and that is the same case over here. You get a whole lot of space even with me in the driver's seat. My height is around 5'11" and I got very long legs, so I have pushed the back seat quite a bit further behind than you would, and I got ample amount of legroom, knee room and even foot room. I can easily slide my feet underneath the front seat, so that's really good. And as you can see, the upholstery of the rear seats also have been upgraded with this tri-arrow design, which looks really nice. I am starting to like this design pattern on everywhere on this car, so it's kind of refreshing and nice. The headrests, however, have been sort of changed in design, probably to make this car a little bit more safer and comfortable. I'm not sure, but this kind of looks different. The headrest design has been upgraded, definitely. It's not similar to the previous pre-facelifted Nexon, so that's a given. And the armrest, of course, is very similar in usage. Only thing is that it has been improved in quality as far as I can see. The previous pre-facelifted model had the armrest kind of too much easy to operate. It was just easy to fling and flip, but this one, it has a certain sort of heft, so that's good as far as I can see. You got the, of course, standard cup holders in the armrest. The armrest, however, is available only on the XZ Plus and the XZ Plus optional variant, while the rear AC vents are available from the XZ variant itself. So that is really good. These AC vents, these are actually AC vents, these are not just blowers, and these vents do not get any sort of control knob or anything like the previous pre-facelifted Nexon. So these actually blow cool air at you, so that is a really helpful feature. However, one thing is that you cannot actually shut off these vents if you want. If you don't want cool air, you basically have to shift the airflow towards your right or left. So yeah, hopefully I have covered everything in this car. Yeah, other things to cover which are on the roof. You can still see that only the front part of the Tata Nexon's cabin has been given a white cabin light, and there is no sort of cabin light in the rear portion for the rear passengers. So that is a kind of bummer. Tata should have really improved on that, but still they seem to have forgotten it. And yeah, the grab handles, they are still the very same design and they are really soft to use. That's a really nice thing. The driver, the design pattern and the materials on the driver door, well, basically the front doors, have been carried over to the rear as well with this nice sort of soft light colored fabric. Of course, you can see that the interior now looks far more airy and premium, more suitable to the Nexon's look. Of course, that matches with this glossy black finish on the door handles as well. So that is really good. The audio quality of the system has been always fantastic on the Nexon. It has been awarded Golden Year Award, so it should be really well. It is of course fantastic for this segment and even for certain cars above its segment. So that's all about the back seat of the Tata Nexon. Let me just get to the boot space and later into the engine bay. So yes, I am standing right behind the facelifted Tata Nexon and I'm going to open the boot. So yeah, the boot space of the Tata Nexon has always been great, around 350 liters in capacity, which is of course the same case over here. And this car on the XZ Plus variant gets split folding rear seats. It's a 60-40 split, which is really very good, and this feature has also been carried over to the XZ Plus optional, which will get of course a whole lot of features when you compare with this. The spare wheel also is a full size 16-inch wheel. However, it's a steel wheel, so do not expect alloy of course. And yeah, it's a pretty standard boot, just like on the pre-facelifted model. So let me just get into the bonnet and the engine bay. Before I get to the engine bay of the Tata Nexon, I would like to show you one thing. Tata Motors have updated and upgraded their overall interior quality of the Tata Nexon, and you can actually see that, you can feel that while you are adjusting the driver's seat itself, because the levers and the latches have been vastly improved in terms of quality, feel and fit and finish. These are totally different in terms of design when you compare with the pre-facelifted model, and that is clearly evident. Along with that, you can also see that the seat belts and its mechanism has also been upgraded, because the seat belts are far more smoother in operation, and even the height adjustment for the seat belts are really easy to use. So talking about safety, the Tata Nexon now gets dual airbags, ABS, EBD, corner stability control, ISOFIX child seat mounts for the rear seats, along with electronic stability program, traction control, hill hold assist, rollover mitigation, electronic brake prefill, emergency brake assist, along with brake disc wiping as standard from the entry level variant itself. So yeah, that was a whole lot of safety features on the Tata Nexon, and that's the reason the prices have been increased quite a bit. So yeah, enough about the safety features. That was really good to know. And let me just pop open the bonnet now. So this here is the very familiar lever for opening the bonnet or the hood of the Tata Nexon. So this bonnet, as you can see, is a more upgraded, beefier clamshell kind of bonnet, which has the lever at the very same point, and opening it you can see the very familiar 1.2 liter turbocharged petrol engine. This here is the petrol engine equipped Tata Nexon. It is the turbo petrol variant. Of course, there is only a turbo petrol variant. This engine produces around 110 PS of power and 170 Newton meters of torque through a 6-speed manual transmission or a 6-speed automated manual transmission. So yeah, this here is the ABS unit, which now includes electronic stability program and a whole lot of features which I just mentioned. So the Tata Nexon has
seriously improved in terms of safety as well. It was already a 5-star car, and now probably it is even more safer on the roads with ESP traction control, with this much heavier bonnet and all. Of course, this bonnet has been increased in height for a reason. You see, the pedestrian crash safety norms are being upgraded later this year, and for that Tata Motors are increasing their bonnet height for all the cars. So Tata Nexon also gets that, and along with that you get the Range Rover-ish looks. So that is clearly a bonus.
So that was all about the new facelifted BS6 Tata Nexon Petrol. I am not able to drive this car, but I hope that it will drive just like before. It will be great in power and will be great on drivability. So talking about the Nexon Facelift XZ Plus, this is not the top spec variant. Of course, the top spec variant is the XZ Plus optional, which will get an electric sunroof, cruise control, automatic headlamps, automatic wipers, and leather wrap steering wheel along with leather wrap gear knob. So this not being that variant, it still gets a whole lot of equipment, and Tata Motors have seriously focused in terms of safety. So the pricing is on the screen for you. Do let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about the facelifted 2020 Tata Nexon. Meanwhile, this is Viprajesh signing off. See you on another video. Thank you for watching.